Yeka, thank you so much for staying with us.
Thank you.
So now, before we took a breath, I took you back in time. The time machine called snooping, as you said earlier on. You wrote a song before the age of 10, the first song you would ever write, and I tried my best to sing it. Nani chukuma, so I now on my maternal side, we are from Umahia.
What?
Yeah, another shock, right?
Wow.
My Igbo is not so good, and I tried my best to interpret. Tell us the words of that song, which was the first ever song you would write. What were the words?
Nani chukumara hena bobim. It means God knows the desires of my heart. Only God can tell what I desire. And only Him understands what I desire. You were how old when you wrote this? I was 8.
You were 8 years old when you wrote that?
Yes, yes.
So you wrote that. You tell your father. Now, your father is a singer. Your mother,
yes.
Your late parents were singers.
Yes.
I mean, I've seen records, vinyl of them.
Yes.
And you say to your dad, I've got this song. What happens next?
I mean, he was so excited. My dad was a very big critic. He criticized me a lot, like, oh no, you need to do better. You need to now go put the software notations and, you know, figure out the harmonies and all that. But he did promise he was going to record it for me when I turned 20. But unfortunately, at the age of 17, he got ill. He was very sick and couldn't do much for himself. And yeah, I wish I recorded that song with him.
So you wish you recorded it with him.
Yeah.
Maybe now that I brought it to you, you've got a record coming up.
Yes.
Maybe we should do that song on your record.
Yes.
Yes. A remix of it. But, you know, for someone who's watching and all they see now is, I mean, you at this stage, you talk about 7 years in the States. You left Nigeria, came to the States, and you describe it as wilderness years.
Yes.
You left Nigeria years before what we now call Jakpa, you know, and Jakpa, for those who don't know, is, you know, escape to a good life.
Yeah.
So you escaped to a good life, but you call it wilderness years. But here you are now. You are the let's say, for argument's sake, the director of music for Streams of Joy, Pastor Jerry is a dear brother of ours. You've got your own projects coming up, and you say this is now a time of becoming. What would you say to someone who looks at you and thinks, I just wish I had the Idol opportunity. I wish I had America, because she's had all this and she's saying wilderness. What would you say to them about God's time and God's process and where you are now?
I would say trust God. Trust that He knows every detail of your life. Trust that He's never out of plans. Trust that He knows what He's doing. Especially in the wilderness, I feel like one of the most damaging things that could happen to a believer is going through your wilderness season and not understanding the purpose of that season, or not even grabbing the lessons of the season. So whatever you're going through, look out for the lessons. Ask the Holy Spirit, what do I need to learn? How do I get better? Why am I going through this? Understand that season and why you're going through it and the lessons that you need to learn from it.
And our time is up, but I want to hear what you would say to the young you who had just won Idol, gone through the journey. You've traveled around, you went overseas, and then you get to the moment where you're in your car. You've decided you're going to drive your car off Third Mainland Bridge, which is one of the bridges in Nigeria. Right now, if you were looking at you then, what would you say to Elizabeth Gilbert at that moment, before the angel came to you?
I'd like to go back to the lessons that I've learned in this 7 years of wilderness. I just never knew how much I didn't trust God. I was that kind of Christian that would pray about something and I would still go out and find solutions and options. But being here, I was stripped of everything that I thought made me who I was until God started molding me into the person He wants me to be. And in that process, I learned to trust Him and know that He is the A and the B and the option C, no other option but Him. So trust God. That's what I would say too.
Yeka, thank you so much for joining us on TPI. And I hope you will perform for us before you leave.
Absolutely. I'd love to do that.
Looking forward to that.